Okay, hello, friends. It's the second day, the second night of Mamma Mia Miss. It's the 12 days of Mamma Mia Miss, and this is the second night of that. And I'm here with Mike Brown.
Hey everybody, I'm
Hey.
Mike Brown.
Yeah. So yeah, this is where we I have to watch 12 different productions of Mamma Mia over the 12 days of Mamma Mia Miss.
So what we're down to two Mamma Mias and a
Yes.
Mamma Mia in
Yeah.
a pear tree. That's where
the
we're at
motion
right
picture. Yeah, I had to figure out the song. Yeah. Today was the we talked about this is pretty recent. Just a few months ago, the Corbin Blue starring production they put on at the Hollywood Bowl, and never mind. It's from July of 2017. But the video didn't get put up until just this September.
I have a feeling because the whole production was filmed on a phone.
Yeah.
And there were moments, I don't know if you caught this, but there were moments
Yeah.
that like the camera would like go out of focus and like hide behind something that was like in the like right in front of it. And then it, like for a few seconds, and then when I say a few seconds, I mean like 30 seconds,
Right.
and then it would go back into view. So I'm guessing there were like ushers walking up and down, be like, don't film. And so they were hiding the camera, and the usher's gone, and then they bring it back out of hiding.
Right.
I think that's what was going on.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Or people just getting up and leaving, I guess, to get popcorn or something.
I'm sure that's possibly it as well. I've never been to the Hollywood Bowl, so I know it's like an outdoor arena, but I'm not familiar with the minutia of what it's like to go.
Yes, I do have to apologize to you and anyone else that chose to watch that. So I was so excited that this was the Corbin Blue version that I did not actually watch a lot of it to check out the sound quality or anything, or realize that this was a bootleg. I thought it was going to be like something that somebody had filmed like as part of the production.
Yeah, like a professional thing. That's what I thought it was as well going into it. And can I put all of my cards onto the table right now?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going pushing all of my chips in. All my chips are in. I lasted 40 minutes into this 2-hour production, and I couldn't do it anymore. Just because it was just filmed on a phone.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good at all.
No, sound was terrible. I mean, the video, everything about it was terrible. Yeah. Like, you could tell the production of the musical itself was really good. Yeah. It was really well constructed. The actors were fine. Yeah, Corbin Blue was fine. Sorry? I like the set. I thought the set was really well constructed, too. Because it had, like, that big staircase right in the middle. But it wasn't gaudy. It wasn't, like... It basically just created a split screen on stage, right? Yeah. So you could have your stuff happening over here, you could have your stuff happening over there, and it made for like a really great stage picture. And it felt like you were in Greece. It was really cool.
It looked really cool. Have you been to Greece? Because you're a world traveler.
I have. Yeah. I spent 4 days in Athens once upon a time, and it was, in fact, a fun story. I'm actually going back next year to do shows.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Playing in, was it the Improv Olympic, or Mount Olympic? I think it's called Mount, man, I can't remember. The Mount Olymprov, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
The Mount Olymprov Festival.
Not allowed to use the word Olympic, even in Greece, I guess.
Can't do it. You're going to get sued.
That's cool. Yeah, that's like the balcony thing that they could get up and sing a little bit off of. Yeah, so I think it was a really well designed set, and they had a lot of space for the dancing and stuff.
A lot of space. Again, I've never been to the Hollywood Bowl, but I've seen videos, like a lot of John Williams kind of conducting on stage or whatever. Right. It's a big stage. Yeah. That's a huge stage. And yeah, I mean, there's so much that you can do with it. If you don't fill the space, then it kind of becomes a waste. And it seemed like they made really good use of the space there.
Yeah, especially when they were doing the bigger numbers, which there are only a few, and then there's a lot of just like solos and duets and things where they were pretty stationary, which was odd. This is something we noticed last night watching the movie, was that the choreography for the dance numbers and stuff was kind of Dan called it sloppy, in that in the movie when they were filming the movie in Greece, like they were just sitting around drinking booze all day and just like hanging out. So it seemed like everyone was just having a good time. But,
Right.
great dance choreography, and something similar in this. It was not anything really impressive happening, except for like two in the middle that were pretty good. But a lot of just people singing and like it's kind of stationary. Like, was expecting more dancing in this movie.
I feel it's the kind of show that, like, because the music is so iconic and so
Right.
well known, it's easy. And I'm not saying that this was the case of this particular production,
Right.
but it is easier to rest on the laurels of, oh, everyone's going to know this, everyone's going to sing along, and
Right.
you know, from the 40 minutes of the bootleg that I watched,
Yeah.
that was happening. There's a lot of people in the audience, especially the people filming, who were laughing along, laughing at all the jokes, singing along with the songs. Like, they were having a good time. This is not the kind of musical that you go to for a great story, you know, for amazing character development. It's a jukebox musical,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, you're just there to see them play the songs, play the hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Did
mean-
you stick around long enough to see when the lady in front of our cameraman got up to dance to one of the songs, and he had to like kind of move the camera away from her and like point it at the big screen?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did see that. Yes, I did. That was Dancing Queen.
Yeah.
That's when they were doing
Yeah,
Dancing
yeah.
Queen. So that's when I cut out, and I was like,
Okay.
oh, you're killing me,
Yeah.
bootleggers. This is why we can't have nice things. This
Yeah.
is. It's funny. As I was watching this, I was wondering, David, why are you having us watch a bootleg version of this? Because, like, I don't condone that. I don't sanction
Right.
bootleggers.
Yeah.
It's especially in our profession. Like, we're comedians, we're entertainers. We want to get paid for our work. We
Right,
don't want
yeah.
piracy.
Right.
Like, there was an incredible story of this filmmaker, and tragically he passed away a few years ago. But there's a filmmaker who did a documentary called what's the name of it? The filmmaker's name was John Schnepp, and I actually got to sit next to him a number of years ago at New York Comic Con. But John Schnepp made a documentary called "The Death of Superman Lives," and it was basically the whole story of. Because sorry, my cat's trying to get at my potato chips. One
Yeah.
second. That's not for you. I know it's crinkly.
Cats love chips. Yeah.
They like chips and they like crinkly things. So
Oh yeah.
now I have to hide it.
It's the ASMR.
Yeah,
For cats.
that's all it is. But yeah, no, The Death of Superman Lives was a documentary by John Schnepp where, because Tim Burton was supposed to make, I think it was a movie called Superman Lives with Nicolas Cage, and they got all this. They did all this pre-production, like the movie was greenlit, and they were just about to start rolling cameras, and then the whole thing fell apart. The whole movie got canceled, and it never happened. So there's some of this behind the scenes footage of Nicolas Cage with the long hair in the Superman costume, stuff like that. And like, who knows if that movie was going to be amazing or terrible, but it's definitely something that like we all want to go see, right? Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Besides the point. So John Schnepp made this documentary about like this movie that never happened, and he interviewed Tim Burton, and he interviewed Nicolas Cage, and he interviewed like the costume designers and like all the people involved. Not all the people, but a lot of people involved in the making of this whole thing. And it's a fascinating documentary. And then he released it on his website.
Right.
Initially to try and get people to pay for it and try to make all that stuff in return, but everybody pirated that documentary, and it bankrupted him. And then if that wasn't bad enough, his health, I can't remember specifically what it was that he passed away from, but the medical bills that piled up as a result of his death, his wife had to take out loans and ask people for help, and she started a GoFundMe because she couldn't cover the medical bills, because this documentary that Schnepp was supposed to essentially make so much money off of couldn't, because everybody pirated the whole thing. So that's just one of, so many different examples of how piracy really does hurt a lot of people and productions, and it's tangible.
Right.
It's not just this, oh, it's a victimless thing. It's fine. Like, it's not fine.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Actually, it's someone who would like to make money, like making things. That you have to. There has to be money in making things, and if everyone's stealing all those things all the time, and there's no money there, so how are you going to make money? Just in
That's the
that sort
thing.
of base level.
You like watching comic book movies? Go pay for them. Because how do you think they get made? They're not cheap.
But yeah, so I apologize for that. For making a bunch of bootleg, I didn't know because I didn't preview it. Most of the other ones I clicked through a lot more. At this one, I just think, oh, this is a big production at the Hollywood Bowl with a movie star in it.
And I mean, your logic is the same as mine was. Like, you see the thumbnail, it looked legit. It looked like a decent thumbnail. So I just figured, okay, cool. This is something that somebody put up. But I was very pleasantly surprised, I was pleased to see that the view count on that video was under 200.
Right.
Like, nobody has watched this thing.
Well, it's not very good quality, so it's hard to watch it.
No, it's terrible quality. I couldn't even finish it. And I would like to get into this person's YouTube account and look at the stats. I want to see the analytics of where did the viewership drop off? Like, of these under 200 people that saw this thing, did they watch like the first 5 minutes? Did they watch the first 20 seconds? Did they last the 2 hours? I want to know.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the only person that watched it in the entire way through.
I would not be surprised either.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I made 40 minutes into it.
Yeah.
It was, because you could tell by the stage production, the value of this whole show. Excuse me, I'm drinking carbonated water, so now it's all coming back up again. The production of this thing was so well. I mean, it's the Hollywood Bowl.
Right, yeah.
Like, it's going to be a great production.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I didn't, you can't tell because it's only like 360p. But the cast, they had Tisha Campbell from Martin, Steven Weber from Wings.
From Martin!
Yeah.
That's where I knew her from.
And I didn't know that Tisha Campbell, she married a guy, an actor, whose last name is Martin. So her full name now is Tisha Campbell Martin. But I see that written out and I go, oh, did she add Martin to her name so people would know that she's Tisha Campbell from Martin? But no, it's just a coincidence.
It's,
her husband's last name is Martin.
That's a great coincidence.
Yeah.
That is phenomenal. Should we plug the food bank?
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah, I forgot the thing on there. Everybody, donate to the Hawaii Food Bank. Hit exclamation donation or exclamation charity in the chat. I'll do that right now just to show what that looks like. That GoFundMe sent some money to the food bank. It's important this time of year. All the times of year, really. People are hungry all year long. But,
Nope. People are only hungry once a year.
Yeah. So right now's the time to do it. Yeah.
What's the story behind how you got involved with the Hawaii Food Bank?
I was trying to find I was thinking of local charities and things, and just how this is during the pandemic is when we started doing, or during the lockdown times. That's when we started doing these live stream things. And I was like, that was the time I was saying on the news that they needed more donations and stuff for the food bank, because a lot of people were out of work and stuff, especially in Hawaii where so much of our economy is based on the tourism industry that was just gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is something that it helps everybody. Especially people that because sometimes adults don't make great decisions and they have to figure out what to do about that. But, their family shouldn't have to suffer. There's always somebody who needs it that deserves it. I guess.
That's amazing. What a great thing to have been put onto your radar.
Right.
I mean, it sucks. It sucks that we live in a world where people go hungry, and we look at these people and be like, "Hey, not my problem."
Yeah.
Like, that's the world that we live in, and that sucks. But it kind of raises that that Christmas spirit a little bit when you know are able to kind of do something about it, like make that decision to say, listen, I'm not going to sit idly by and just let this problem continue to persist when you know, my financial situation not great, but I can afford like a few bucks. Like just send a few because a few dollars.
Right.
Let's just say you're able to donate $5, right? That's like 5 big packages of pasta.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Yeah. You
That
need
can-
somebody for a couple of days. You know, a whole family.
Yeah, I mean that makes a huge difference. Even if it's just like, you know, the bare staples, the bare essentials, like that's what people need to get by until they can figure their situation out.
Yeah. So it's really important.
Yeah.
And it's something. It's such an easy thing to do. It's something that it's a base need that everyone has, and we all can relate to it. So it's a good cause, and I do want to thank you for making a donation. So you made a very generous donation today to the.
Who said I made a donation? Oh, I didn't put the anonymous thing on it.
I don't think you did, or maybe I read it in the. I don't think so though. I got an email there, but no, your name is on there.
Well, you're welcome, food.
Yeah, you didn't do it for the fame, but it's.
Yeah, follow my example, everybody. Dig deep.
Do it, and don't be shy about putting your name out there, letting people know.
Meanwhile, everyone's like, Mike, why are you spending on all your money on on all these toys?
I see a golden statue back there.
You mean this little guy?
Yeah.
All right. All right, Mr. David K. Jones.
Right.
If you can tell me, I will donate an additional $5.
Okay.
I will donate an additional $5 if you can name what movie this replica is from.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think that's something that everybody knows now. It's got to be it's Indiana Jones, and what is it? Raiders of the Lost Ark.
There you go.
First time you ever see him.
There it is. I will donate an additional $5.
Wow, thank you.
I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
Tell me all you know about Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I know that the Simpsons. It's one of the many things that I knew about from the Simpsons before I knew about the actual or watched the actual thing. It's the whole cold open of the Simpsons in which Bart needs to steal his hat away from Homer for some reason, who's chasing him through the garage.
This seems very familiar.
Yeah.
This seems very familiar to me.
I think at some point he's running around. He's jumping up and down in the yard in his underwear, like the natives were at the end of the thing.
That was like early on, right?
Yeah, that's pretty early on. That was back when Bart's hat was a thing. He used to have a hat.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I remember he had to reach under the garage door was closing. He had to reach under and grab his hat like Indiana Jones did.
As you do, man.
Yeah.
As you do.
I really do think you need to put your golden statue on some sort of a pressure plate thing, so that anytime you lift it off, some sort of boulder action happens. Maybe just a sound effect.
That'd be pretty incredible.
Yes. Have you seen Mamma Mia before? The
Never.
first time I ever watched it was yesterday.
No, never. I had a friend who was in the. Sorry, I'm just completing my purchase right now.
Oh yes, thank you.
Thanks for using PayPal. There it is. Done.
Yeah.
Done. You got it. That's another big thing of pasta.
Yeah.
You guys.
You're really making someone's Christmas this year.
Give all the pastas, you guys. What was the question you asked me?
Have you seen Mamma Mia before? But also, for everything that behind you in your home that people name in the chat, I'll donate $5 myself. So,
oh, is there anybody in the chat that would like to name? My goodness. I mean, anything. That's it's a pretty low bar.
Yeah. Hopefully someone in the chat wants to pipe up. Let's see. Anyways, yeah, Mamma Mia.
No, a friend of mine dated one of the cast members from the Broadway show, from the New York Broadway show,
Wow.
for a while. Her name will remain anonymous because they had a massive falling out and a very let's just say not a good ending to that relationship.
Right. Yeah.
Police were involved.
Oh, wow.
It was a whole thing.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a whole thing. But yes, I feel like there's so much of my life that Mamma Mia has been a part of, but I've never seen the movie, never gone to go see the play or the musical.
Right.
Even with this production, Corbin Bleu, Corbin Bleu and I worked on a television show together years ago. I don't think that episode that I filmed ever aired.
Oh.
But
it's a special secret between the two of you.
Yeah, it's a TV show called The Beautiful Life. I'm gonna look it up on IMDb right now. Let's see how many episodes actually aired, shall we?
That was not a sequel to the Simple Life. What was that Paris Hilton show?
Was it A Simple Life?
Something Life.
Oh man, Corbin Bleu is making A Simple Life. Yeah. He's making a comeback as this character from High School Musical in the Disney Plus series, High School Musical, the musical, the series. Oh boy, you guys. All right, let's go back to the year 2009 because that's when I was doing my background acting stuff. Yeah.
High School Musical. That's another one. Was he already famous for High School Musical at the time?
Yes, at the time, yeah. Mm-hmm. The Beautiful Life. There we are. TBL, as they try, as it's subtitled. TBL, The Beautiful Life. All right, let's see how many. It aired 5 episodes.
Oh, okay.
There was the pilot, The Beautiful Aftermath, The Beautiful Life, The Beautiful Triangle, and The Beautiful Campaign.
Oh, wow.
Man. It was, I remember Elle Macpherson was in our episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not popping up on this IMDb. Oh, well.
But you are on IMDb. That's pretty.
I am.
IMDb. Nice.
Yeah. I mean, not for anything that matters. I did a short film that is listed on IMDb years ago. And then when I was in my background acting days, I've got a number of credits where I'm like in the backgrounds of certain episodes. Certainly no speaking lines.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
But who knows? I told you that I'm working with a director in Brooklyn where we make commercials for Amazon, right?
No.
Have I told you that?
No.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we make commercials for Amazon. It's a freelance gig. It's not a regular kind of deal. Sorry, somebody's texting me.
No.
Something about the Emmys?
No. Is that happening right now? Or are we up against the Emmys?
I don't think. No, that's usually Sundays. But doggone it, man! Stop texting me. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought. Anyway, yeah, we make commercials for Amazon, and when the director that I work with transitions to film or television shows, I'll have non-acting credits to bring along. But yeah, it's a fun gig.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll when we're not in the live stream, I'll send you a few links to some of the stuff that we've done.
Yeah.
It's cheesy. I mean, they're all cheesy, but like they're fun.
Yeah. So I think Twitch is owned by Amazon, so yeah, they could use the advertising.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Cross promotion.
Yeah, it's awesome. That's synergy.
So, what's your favorite thing about Mamma Mia? Why Mamma Mia? Why not the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Why not?
It's got to be a musical
Why?
because it's the third year in a row that I've been doing this. It started off with the 12 days of Rent miss.
Okay.
I watched Rent for 12 days in a row, and that was just because I was just having people vote on what I would watch every day during the pandemic. I just put two movies up against each other.
Oh, I remember
someone
this.
mentioned that. Yeah, someone mentioned that Rent was a Christmas movie, so I watched it. And then someone else was like, "You should keep watching Rent or something." I was like, "Oh, am I gonna have to watch Rent for 12 days in a row? Don't dare me to do it." And then I did, and it just became a tradition. So it was Rent the first year, Cats last year, and then this year
Ooh.
I put it up and I asked some people, is it either Rent or is it Grease, Mamma Mia, or High School Musical? And one voted for Mamma Mia, one vote for Grease, but not enough.
Yeah,
maybe
interesting.
next year.
That's interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
I think
like Mamma Mia?
I liked the movie more than this version because, yeah, the dancing kind of took me out of it. Wasn't great. I was expecting more on that side of it, but then the singing was better in this one. And then the whole dream sequence part, that was really cool. They didn't have that in the movie. I think overall, I like the story and that it's nice and light and easy, and the music is pretty good. I don't know if I really like it that much.
Well, I think that's
Definitely like it
kind
more
of
than
the-
Rent. I don't know if I like it more than Cats. Right?
You like it more than Rent.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mostly because
I
the
haven't-
story of Rent is no, but I don't like any of the characters in Rent.
Really? Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I admittedly I haven't seen Rent in a very,
Okay.
very long time. It came out when I was in college, actually. That was a
Ah.
long time ago.
Yeah.
I dug it. I liked it for what it was. I'm not the biggest, like, massive Rent fan. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good. I think it holds a place. My wife Kim and I have been on kind of a Broadway musical kick lately.
Oh.
We've been to see a whole bunch of stuff lately. I'm trying to think, what was the last thing we went to go see? I think MJ the musical, like the Michael Jackson kind of bio. It's basically just a jukebox musical.
Right.
It's a reason to sit through a fantastical production of all of his greatest hits, right?
Right.
The story is such a loose thread of a story. Such a loose thread.
There's
and
big
gr-
chunks of Michael Jackson's life you have to leave out of that musical.
You know, they referenced a few things. They were cryptic about some of the allegations and
Right.
stuff. But the way that they phrased it, it made it sound like it was more geared towards drug use.
No.
Because they actually kind of bring out the fact that, you know, Michael Jackson at one point in his life was addicted to pills because he all the pressure, and he just had to keep going, you know.
Yeah.
And it was basically his father that got him hooked on pills.
Mm.
That part I didn't know.
Right.
But I
I
have
knew his
been
father
to
was
Neverland.
responsible for a lot of weird stuff in his life. That makes sense.
Yeah. I have been to Neverland Ranch though.
Oh, really?
I have. You're not allowed on property. You could just drive right up to the front gates, and
Okay.
you know everything's closed, and there's like the little call box. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Cool.
There's a lion on the premises. There's like a huge sign, because the fence that goes around the perimeter is
Right.
just like, it's like one of those typical country like fences that you could just jump if you wanted.
Right.
But there's signs all over that says like there is a lion on the premises and you will be eaten. And like,
So
you know
actually-
what?
Yeah. This is one of those things where like Michael Jackson died and then just all the animals just got like let loose and just roamed the grounds.
I think that's what we all like to think. But you
Yeah.
know, he had like scores of people working for him, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he cleans the monkey cages by himself.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like after he passed away, then like all those people didn't have a job anymore, so they left.
No, I think. Well, the estate was still up to his family.
Okay.
You know, next of kin or the executor of his will
Right.
really would be up to keeping all those people on. So because the Michael Jackson estate is filthy rich.
Oh, I
So
think that's more in the music library than it is in the live animals.
oh yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. So I don't know what happened to to the zoo or I'm sure the theme park that was on Neverland Ranch is still there.
Hmm.
I'm sure it's all fallen into disrepair because what can you do with it?
Right. Yeah. You don't have anyone not selling tickets for people to come in. Then, yeah, it's just sitting
Yeah.
there rotting.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll do MJ the musical next year. Are there a lot of high school productions on that? I don't know.
I don't know if there are any because it was. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a Broadway exclusive, was it not?
No, I don't know.
But I mean, it's not hard to string together all the songs, basically.
Right. Yeah.
I will there was this one moment where they do kind of a montage of like some of his bigger hits in the. This is a Mamma Mia thing. Why are we talking about Michael Jackson? Whatever.
it's all.
Yeah. So they do a montage of like a lot of his bigger hits,
Okay.
and I'm thinking like, wow, this is amazing. And the way that they do Thriller, because they put Thriller into this montage, they highlight like a lot of his individual big hit songs, and they do them as standalone songs. But then there's one kind of section where all the songs kind of blend into one big montage. And I was like, okay, Thriller was arguably the biggest hit of his career. So
Right.
maybe they want to focus on other stuff, not so much Thriller. So they did Thriller in like this montage, and it was a really great montage. And then we moved off, and the story carried on. And we saw
Right.
other songs and whatever. And then later on, they did the Thriller thing, like full on, nonstop, and I was like, "What?" And I'm not gonna lie, I think I like the live stage Broadway production of Thriller
Mhm.
more than the
Yeah.
music video.
Wow.
It
I
was
would like to
it
see
was
that live. That would be
it was so fun, so fun.
Yeah. Oh, I would be into that. I would like to see. Yeah, my wife and I went to see some movie around Halloween time one year, and during the preview or before the preview started, they played Thriller, but in 3D. But they didn't have any 3D glasses to give anybody, and it wasn't a 3D movie, so we were just watching it being all blurry for like 15 minutes or whatever.
Weird.
That's a strange choice.
Thriller's great.
Yeah.
I have to just for my own sensibilities. For me, it's Smooth Criminal.
Mm.
That's my fave. Like that moment where like in unison everyone just like
That is really
leans to the side and then comes back up. Like it blew my mind. And when you know how the trick is done, it's
Right.
it's a pretty clever trick, but when you don't know how that trick is done, how that effect is done.
But still, like a lot of things like with the magic and stuff, like you can understand how the trick is done when it's done really well. It's still very impressive to see.
Sure is. That's what makes, I think, like remind me, what year were you born?
I'm an 85 baby.
Okay. So I'm 82. So
Okay.
we were both raised in the 90s, born in the 80s, raised in the 90s.
Yeah.
At that time, CGI and that type of technology was so primitive and rudimentary that anytime you had a practical effect that was done so masterfully and just
Right.
so beautifully, and you couldn't see the seams, you didn't know how it was done, it blew your mind.
Yeah.
It really was so fascinating and inspiring. And nowadays you see these fantastical things all the time, and it's just run of the mill.
Yeah.
It's you and I grew up in a time at a bottle where like it was just before CGI really started taking over, and we're some of the last generations to really know what the wonder
Yeah.
was like,
Right.
to experience and see these things happen and take place.
Yeah, I mean, you've got your Jurassic Park, figurines back there behind you, and that's the one that I think really like the CGI that happened in it. We kind of understood that that's what was going on, but the spectacle of it was so amazing. Like it was the first movie I ever saw twice in the theater that I remember. Yeah, it's like you're not even clocking that it's what's CGI and what isn't. You're just amazed by it. And I think that the big thing about what I noticed with Jurassic Park versus like Jurassic World later on, it's like the first time they see a dinosaur and just like when the music kicks in and everyone's super impressed by look at this dinosaur we're looking at. And then by the time we get 20 years later, and dinosaurs are flying around and eating people all over the place, and no one's impressed by seeing that because it's like, oh yeah, that's what that looks like, and then it takes that magic away from.
Here's a pop quiz.
Yeah.
What is the first dinosaur we see in Jurassic Park?
Well, you'd want to say that it's a velociraptor. You don't really see it, right, in the very first scene, but
wrong.
You would think it'd be the Brachiosauruses they see on the island, but actually it's on the way into the island in the helicopter. It's a pterosaurus, right? Or no? Or is that later? Is that the end?
No, I think that's the end.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Then I don't.
Yeah, no, the first one is the Brachiosaurus. Yeah, there's that opening sequence with the raptor, but like, see the claws. That's not really. I mean, you're kind of alluded to the idea that there's this beast being caged.
The trick question is that at some point you see some kind of bird, and we know that birds are modern day dinosaurs. So that's the trick.
That's how they ended every single Jurassic Park movie, was with the bird. You know that, right?
Cool. No.
Yeah. And then the Jurassic World movies just totally like did something else, and it was like, okay.
Yeah, I still haven't seen the newest one. But
it's so bad. It's so bad. Oh, I hate it so much.
Yeah, I saw the second one just on a plane and don't even remember what happened. So maybe I'll check it out. I don't know. I don't feel like I need to. I probably will at some point. Yeah, so that's. Any more Mamma Mia thoughts before disconnecting the internet? All the best musical numbers happen at the end of the movie, after the end of the show, like after the curtain call. They come back out and do like a little medley of songs, and then they do some dancing and stuff. Like, oh, this is what I really wanted out of my musical.
I mean, maybe I'll go back and just fast forward straight to the ending.
Yeah, just watch the last 5 minutes.
If I sat through 40 minutes of garbage, I can sit through 5 minutes of just like fun tunes. Yeah. It's hard for me to comment or like have any deep, profound thoughts on Mamma Mia because it is such a surface level musical in general.
Right.
And second, I haven't really seen it. Like, I saw the first 40 minutes of this version, but it was such a bad. Like, that's why we go to the live theater, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you want the live theater experience, get the experience. Like, there's somebody, and their whole identity is going to remain anonymous, but there's this person that I know that watches movies and TV shows exclusively on their phone. And they have this, I think it's called Movie Box is the app. Where like you have to be invited, you have to already be on MovieBox so you can invite somebody else to be on MovieBox, and it's just basically pirating. It's just a pirating website where you can watch whatever you want and blah 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 blah. Plex is another one, where Plex is a little bit different. Where if I purchase the content, then I can upload it to Plex so that I can watch it whenever I want through Plex. But it now becomes available to anyone who is on Plex. Anyway, so it boggles my mind that like there are people that exist in the world that just they just want to see the thing. They don't want to experience the thing.
Yeah,
and that's so like antithetical to the purpose of storytelling, right?
Right.
We go not just to see the and like, why do you want to see? Let's just say Black Adam, right?
Right.
Okay, so Black Adam's like the big movie in movie theaters right now until this weekend when Avatar comes. Even with Avatar, there are people who are going to watch it for the first time on their phone. Why?
Yeah, especially that's the reason that movie made the most money ever. was that people went to go see it in a 3D IMAX. It was like the first big one that everyone has to go see it in the theater. So now to watch it on your phone just seems like, why are you even doing this?
Yeah. And it's not even that good of a story.
Yeah.
It's not. And from all the reviews that I've heard from The Way of Water,
Right.
same thing. It's a cookie cutter story that's like cut and paste into this fantastical world. You go for the visuals. You go for the experience. You're not going to be moved,
Yeah.
you know, visually maybe, but I don't know. So, Mamma Mia. In summary, yeah, I think that's what makes this musical so indelible, is that the music is memorable. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's just known by everyone, and to be in that environment, to see it in front of with a live audience,
right? To get up and dance in the audience.
Get up and dance.
Yeah.
That's why people go to concerts, you know? Or even just the movie version with Meryl Streep and Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
Whoever else, Stellan Skarsgård, Amanda Seyfried. Like, it's an experience to be seen, because the medium is film. So they adapt the story and the storytelling and the music and the characters and the setting for a film audience, so that you can sit at home in front of your TV, or I guess if you want to watch it on your phone, like however you want to absorb this content, it is meant to be absorbed in that way. But yeah, that's why I love the Producers, the musical, so much. Like the movie musical. Oh man, perfection. But yeah,
Producers might be Producers Miss next year. That would be finally one that I've seen.
I love the Producers. I would not watch it 12 days in a row.
You can watch 12 high school and foreign productions of the Producers.
If you want to stick to the musical theme, you could, for next year, you could just have 12 different musicals and just each day highlight a different musical.
No, I really like watching the same one because I like to see the different creative ways that people like do things.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's
like
fair.
in this one, what really stuck out to me was there's a dream sequence in the middle, like after the first night, in which she's in the bed and then all the dancers come out and they're all dressed in black and they pull the letters out from under her bed and spin her around. And so, like, none of that was in the movie at all. So it was all new and a cool way of showing her dream state. That was interesting. So I'm curious to see what they do in Russia and France when I see those later on.
Oh man, yeah, that's true. Have you, before yesterday, you seen Mamma Mia?
No, never.
So yesterday was your first time?
Yeah. I never really liked musicals. I've only watched like a handful. Like I've seen like Little Shop of Horrors and stuff like that.
Sure. That's great.
Yeah.
The Blues Brothers.
Right,
favorite musical of all time.
It's in like all the Disney movies and all the 90s Disney movies and things like that.
But like true musicals.
Like something kind of like a Broadway kind of musical was never a thing that I was interested in.
Huh. Have you seen like live musical productions?
A handful I've seen out here. Just saw Cabaret a few months ago. It was interesting.
How'd you like it?
I know that with
I mean, you said interesting.
And stuff. Yeah. It ends on a real bummer note. I was thinking it was just gonna be a fun cabaret thing. I've heard the song before, and the whole Life's a Cabaret song. I thought it was a fun, lighthearted thing, but it's not. It's a real bummer.
It's funny when you delve into some of these shows and some of these projects, like because Godfather, everybody knows The Godfather, and you've heard all of the quotes from The Godfather. But then when you sit down and watch The Godfather, you're like, whoa. Oh, okay. That's the guy. Oh, there's a horse in a horse head in the guy's bed. Oh,
you see the whole thing.
Oh, okay. Go to leave the gun, take the cannoli.
That sounds fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, what's it mean? I don't know. Literally, leave the gun and take the cannoli. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, it's not a euphemism.
It's not. The driver of a car gets shot in the head, and the guy who shoots him. He's told by his boss, leave the gun, like throw the gun in the car with the guy who just got shot.
Okay.
But there's a cannoli in the back seat, so
Right.
take the cannoli.
And yeah, you don't want to waste a cannoli.
No, man, they're delicious.
Yeah. Just about musicals. I didn't really have a musical I really, really liked until Cats last year. And I was like, oh,
Really?
I'm into this. It's weird, and you can't like try to watch it and enjoy it like a normal thing. But if you embrace how crazy it is, then
Which
it's a
version
fun
is your
time.
preferred version?
I think it was 1998, the home video release they did. That was like the recording of the Broadway one. That one I
Yeah.
really like. And then the new 2019 one, that's another one where it's just insane. And yeah, that's a good drinking game kind of movie.
I've still never seen Cats.
Yeah.
It's a kind of thing that I don't know if I want to see Cats.
Yeah.
Just because it's so, but I don't know, like if it really is as out there as everyone is saying, like I don't know,
Right.
maybe it's worth it.
Yeah. I can send you links to a bunch of high school.
I'm
British
good.
Cats if you want.
I'm good.
Okay.
What about Sweeney Todd? Have you seen Sweeney Todd?
No.
That's my favorite. Like if taking Blues Brothers off,
Right,
like
yeah,
out of the
yeah.
conversation, Sweeney Todd, favorite musical of all time. It's amazing.
Yeah, I've got a thing about Johnny Depp where I think he thinks he's funnier than he is, and it annoys me.
Yeah. Watch. So there's a filmed Broadway version from the 70s, I
Oh,
think.
wow.
It's
Okay.
with Angela Lansbury and George Hearn,
Hmm.
and it's
Okay.
perfection. It is so good. Angela Lansbury. So are you familiar with the story
Oh,
of
yeah.
Sweeney Todd?
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, Angela Lansbury plays like the perfect, like twisted. I don't know. It's just so good because she's so. What's the word? Mrs. Potts. Like she's so wholesome. I think
Right,
is the
yeah,
word that I'm looking
yeah.
for. She's so wholesome, and to see her in a role, like in Sweeney Todd, like what she plays in Sweeney Todd, so gruesome and just, I love
You
it.
can see that then.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie version was very well done as well. It's, yeah, I enjoyed it. Helena Bonham Carter, great.
Yeah, I think I would put that up for one of these 12 days things because I would also want to see how they try to figure out how to do that in like a high school setting where you can't be too violent.
The high school production of Sweeney Todd,
Yeah.
the Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Yeah.
Got it. I would love to be the director of one of those
Yeah.
high school productions. It'd be amazing.
That'd be great. Yeah, I want to see that. Yeah, so I'm gonna put that on the list.
It's pretty good. Shrek the musical,
Oh,
very fun.
nice.
That was a professionally filmed Broadway recording with Brian Darcy James playing Shrek and Sutton Foster playing Fiona.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Because the original Shrek wasn't a musical, right?
I mean, there was the whole soundtrack with
Okay.
like All Star,
Smash
Smash
Mouth,
Mouth, and
Yeah, the Shrek wasn't singing songs in the first one.
not really. No, I don't think so.
Okay,
But the musical Shrek was
nice.
expertly done. I'm waiting for someone somewhere to release a filmed version, even if it's bootleg, of
Right.
Spider-Man: Turn Off the Dark.
Oh yeah, I want to see that. It's got to
It's-
exist somewhere. Yeah.
It's so bad. I saw it in previews,
did?
and it was
Oh.
so bad. It was so bad. It's terrible. I love Spider-Man.
Yeah. Hey. Oh.
It was so bad. Reeve Carney. Ugh. I don't enjoy Reeve Carney. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia. Oh, I need to start doing bad Italian accent.
Are you gonna put the sequel into this discussion, or are you only sticking to the one story of Mamma Mia?
only watching this one for the 12 days. I mean, it's part of it. We can talk about it because because Dan Connell was my guest last night. He's seen the Mamma Mia, the first movie, like 3 times, I think he said, including the time he watched for last night. But he's seen the sequel, I think he said 13 times because he loves it.
What?
So much. Yeah, so it's apparently a much, much better movie.
Wow.
So I might watch it. I think it'll be Christmas Day. We're done with this on Christmas Eve. So it'll be Christmas Day.
You know, that's kind of an interesting observation, especially based on what we've been talking about of like Mamma Mia being a jukebox musical.
Right.
And it's just a loose storyline just to give you it's a delivery system for the fun songs, right?
Yeah.
But when a sequel is not reliant on the fun jukebox nature,
Right.
or the familiarity, you now need to create a deeper story and something that
That's why
actually
we're coming
connects,
back.
resonates. Say what?
That's why we're coming back to because we care about these characters. We want to see what's going on. What's part 2 here? Because we've heard all of the hit songs, which I think they probably repeat a bunch of songs. I think because it's called "Here We Go Again," which is part of Mamma Mia, right? Which is
That's what it's
the main
called.
song. Yeah,
Yeah.
I assume.
That's interesting to me. Now, like that's the part that I'm like, oh, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
Now I'm intrigued here.
I wonder if they did this.
I mean, there's not a lot of sequels that eclipse the originals. I mean,
Right.
there's a bunch.
Yeah.
But in all the sequels that exist in the world,
Yeah, not many.
small
It's
number,
rare. Yeah, and especially for musicals, when does that happen? Right?
right? Shrek 2.
Yeah. Did they do a Shrek 2 musical?
No.
But they did. It
But
would
the
be great,
movie.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Oh,
Cool. Yeah, we're going to right out tonight. We're just gonna say goodnight to the internet, and thank you so much for being with us tonight.
no,
Right?
thank you.
Thank you for watching,
appreciate
sitting through 40 minutes of this bad bootleg of Mamma Mia.
Thank you for guessing the toys that I have
Yeah.
displayed. I have to show off one of my favorite. This is one of my newer collections or pieces in my collection. They're Sesame Street characters
Oh,
that have their
cool.
anatomy shown on the inside.
That's cool.
It seems like a missed opportunity not to have a cookie,
I was expecting that. I was really expecting
Yeah.
to see a big old cookie in
right? Should be.
there. Yeah.
But I have Cookie Monster, Big Bird, and the
Yeah.
Count.
Cool. Cookie Monster's skull, does it have an eye socket for his eyes? Because they're not really in his head. Right? Is it just
Kind
smooth
of.
on top? Oh, it's a
Yeah.
divot. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a little divot in there, yeah.
Okay.
Big Bird has a huge divot,
Yeah, he's got those big eyes right in the middle of his face.
right? Carol Spinney.
Yeah. And I like that they gave him a real anatomy, and it's not just like it's not a human hand inside his shit up. That's a puppet.
Yeah. Look at that wing.
Yeah. It's just all feather.
I know.
Which are cool.
Fun little gruesome items.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, thanks for having me. Thanks for
Being here.
letting me fill the air about things that don't
Yeah.
matter and are not related to Mamma Mia.
Yeah, that's fine. We're just here to have a good time.
Did you
Raise
guys
money
have any
for the
viewers yesterday?
The GoFundMe. Had some people check in and out a little bit. No one stuck around long enough to donate. So hopefully tonight, maybe. I don't know.
There's still time. It's not over yet.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to marathon this thing. We're going to go all night.
Yeah, until we get a donation.
Next 5 hours.
Yeah.
Guess
Some
every
pasta.
toy in my collection.
Cool. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a night for tonight. Tomorrow night I'm gonna be back. I think I'm solo tomorrow night. Just gonna be talking about I don't even know what. Maybe the Russian one. I don't know. Now that I know the story better.
Well, enjoy.
Yeah. You have anything you want to say to the internet before we say goodnight?
Check out pineappleimprov.com
Oh yeah, that's right.
and hire me to come teach you in your workplace the principles of improvisation.
Yeah. So you're based in New York City, right? But you can.
I can go wherever.
Yeah. Online,
Yeah.
remotely, and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking improv classes from you, some of the best improv classes I've ever taken. So,
Oh.
yeah.
You're literally just saying that because we're on the internet. I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
But thank you.
I've only taken a few. Not even a lot. Yeah. Favorites are all Mike Brown ones. So everybody take Pineapple Improv classes. And good night. See you tomorrow night for night 3 of the 12